2025 edition of Slow Food's Extra Virgin Olive Oil Guide has just been released. I'd like to take this opportunity to tell you about this remarkable publication, which has been documenting the story of Italian olive growing for the past 25 years. Hi, and welcome back to Olive Oil Drops, the first podcast entirely dedicated to olive oil and olives. This is an English version. I'm Milena. Like all previous episodes, this one is written by Marco Antonucci, a member of Slow Food's national panel for extra virgin olive oils and the regional representative for Lombardy and Piedmont. The views expressed are his own, but as fellow contributor to the guide and a member of the Slow Food community, I fully share his perspective. In this episode, Marco explains how the extra virgin olive oil guide works and what sets it apart from other publications. In our work, we occasionally meet producers who tell us that to be included in certain guides, they are required to purchase a minimum number of copies, provide free samples, or simply pay for entry, sometimes ending up listed alongside mass bottlers. Others complain that after submitting defective products and being excluded, they consider the guides and their contributors to be either incompetent or both. Well, when I hear this, I usually don't argue. I simply say that I also work on an olive oil guide and that not all guides are created equal. This often shifts the tone of the conversation, though only slightly. So on this special occasion, I'd like to explain how the Slow Food Guide to Extra Virgin Olive Oils work. First published in 2000, it featured 155 farms and 185 oils. By 2005, those numbers had quadrupled, 500 farms, 700 oils, and since 2011, they stabilized. The 2025 edition includes 1,321 oils from 823 small-scale farms. The printed guide, which spans 480 pages, is available in bookstores for €18, €14.40 for Slow Food members, and €17.10 online. It offers key information about producers, the sensory profiles of their oils, the cultivars used, and price ranges. It also highlights new entries, 127 in this edition, and notes which farms offer accommodations, 191, or dining services, 120, because connecting consumers with producers and showcasing this rich olive oil heritage is at the heart of the project. This year, 223 oils have received special recognitions for their excellence. The guide also marks those producers who offer 10% discount to Slow Food members. Slow Food is a global movement with over 1 million activists dedicated to promoting food that is good, clean and fair, meaning food that respects the environment and biodiversity and that ensures fair compensation for producers. In Italy, the association is organized into local communities or convivia that work to enhance the human and natural resources of their territories. So how to be included in the guide? First and foremost, any producer who wants to be considered must be aligned with the philosophy of Slow Food. Membership is not required, but their approach must resonate with the values of good, clean and fair. Otherwise, inclusion in a guide based on these principles would be inconsistent. Producers can introduce themselves by contacting regional representatives, national editors, or more simply representatives of local Slow Food communities. In November, producers both returning and newly recommended receive a letter inviting them to submit 3 samples, minimum 0.25 liters each. 1 sample is for tasting, 1 is used as a backup option in case of anomalies, and the third is for use in public tasting events organized by local Slow Food communities throughout the year, which help promote the oils and producers. Producers also complete a detailed form with information about their farms, olive varieties, and oil characteristics, all of which help assess their alignment with Slow Food values. Participation is entirely free. No fees or purchases are required. Now, samples are blinded and coded by a neutral party before being submitted in January to tasting panels made up of trained professional tasters who are also part of the Slow Food Network. Each oil receives a sensory profile, and only after the tasting sessions are complete and the evaluations finalized are the producers' identities revealed to the regional panels. The panel then decides if any oils merit special recognition. That is, Grande Olio for oils that excel in their categories for sensory quality, connection to local varieties, and territorial identity. Grande Olio Slow, exceptional oils that reflect their cultivar and region, made with sustainable agricultural practices and offering good value for money within their regional context. Now, organic certification is not required, but the sustainability of the production must be clear and unquestionable. The Snail Award, the snail is a symbol of slow food movement, given to a select few producers who demonstrate sustainable farm management, consistently high quality production, dedication to indigenous cultivars, and alignment with slow food's ethical and cultural principles. In 2025, 47 producers received this honor. The guide also features producers from Slow Food Presidium for Ancient Olive Trees, an initiative that safeguards biodiversity and promotes the environmental, cultural, and economic value of Italian extra virgin olive oil. This year, 227 oils from these presidia are included, an ever-growing number that confirms the validity of the guide's guiding principles. Importantly, farms that practice super-intensive cultivation methods are explicitly excluded from participation, as these models are considered incompatible with the values of sustainability, biodiversity, and territorial integrity that slow food upholds. In February, oils selected at the regional level are forwarded to the National Slow Food Tasting Panel, made up of all the regional representatives. The panel reviews and either confirms or rarely overrules the regional decisions. Meanwhile, producer profiles are finalized and sent to the publisher, who edits and compiles them into the guide. Each regional representative prepares the introductory text for their region. Before the guide is published, producers are notified of their inclusion and given the option, not obligation, to purchase discounted copies. The guide is launched at a national event. In 2025, it was held in Ascoli Piceno with tasting workshops, team dinners, technical panels, and product showcases. Recognitions are presented during this celebration, which brings producers together to share their experiences and stories. In the months that follow, regional representatives host local presentations, tastings, and discussions focused on olive growing and oil. Throughout the year, regional representatives and editors meet to evaluate their work, plan events, and discuss criteria for selection. They also visit farms to build relationships with producers, verify data, and ensure transparency, because the challenges of one producer are often shared across a region, and building community helps address them. If you wish to ask us questions, you can do so either by email, oliveoildrops@gmail.com, website www.oliveoildrops.com, where you can also find text of this podcast both in Italian and English, or a comment space of the podcast platform you have been using and to which you can subscribe free of charge. Thank you for listening.